the guys with the paid blue ticks.
Ooh. Hugo, will you turn your screen for a second? If you can. And how you doing, boy? I haven't seen you in a while. You're live.
Good. I'm living for now. Yeah, been killing it. Been killing this prep.
How long is it? Jeez, I can't even speak English today. How long far is it?
Right now it's 14 weeks out.
14 weeks. Fuck, okay, it's still long. That's still long. But I see you look fucking lean already. Are you ahead of schedule or what?
So basically we started at 22 weeks out. And we have basically just been taking it as like a lean off season. So yeah, the food's still pretty high. I mean, I'm at the moment at like 2,700 calories a day. I'm just getting leaner.
Sounds like you're doing men's physique.
I don't know. Maybe I'll jump in there. Maybe. You never know.
So am I right?
I don't know if the chest and the shoulders are good enough, and I get a good enough V taper, then yeah, why the fuck not?
We must get your coach on here, young. I don't know. That man's pulling some other missions, young.
He's so busy. We actually just got like a voice note from him just a bit ago where he said like it's like still at the gym or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a call tomorrow, bro. I'm gonna fucking be like, hey boy, what's going on here? Give him a proper 8-cuck. But anyways, no, I'm joking. So and cardio wise, he's doing a lot of cardio now. What exactly the story? Because I mean, look, it's still fucking long, eh?
It's 20 minutes a day. Yeah, I always go for like full incline and then like 5.5 kilometers per hour, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hams, 10K steps, and yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, like I just really love the sauna for recovery. So then afterwards I'll go sit in the sauna for like 20-30 minutes. Just let myself sit. That also helps with like the water because I'm like drinking a shitload of water. So
yeah,
going and sitting in the sauna is easy to get like another liter and a half water just in. So yeah, very basic stuff, very very basic. But I was dropping about like 400 to 300 grams a month. And like the last week or so, my weight's actually kind of changed a little bit. It's actually going up a bit, but I'm still getting leaner. So yeah, I might actually get like a little bit closer than I thought to the weight cap, which is great. Don't know how much closer, but at this point, if I'm lucky, I can get to around 74, 75, which is about a 4 to 5 kg increase from like last year. So it's looking pretty good.
Oh, what's the weight cap? What did you say the weight cap was?
My weight cap went up from 77 to 80 kgs.
Okay. Are you guys also as obsessed as me and Hugo with sauna?
I just don't have the time for it. So yes, see.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Just trying to make time.
I'm fucking absolutely obsessed, bro. Obsessed with sauna.
It's so freaking nice. Like it's like meditation.
Yeah, more for my mental more than anything. But I don't do extended periods after training. I normally do 15 minutes maximum after training. I don't do cold exposure or anything after training, of course, but I do that. And then on rest days, I do fucking probably like 35, 40 minutes in sauna, in and out, 15 minutes, 5 minutes off, 15 minutes in. Fuck. And I promise you, since I started doing saunering, I know it sounds fucking weird, but it's so funny because I literally just got sick, but that was for a different reason. But I haven't been sick in like the last like year with like the flu or any of that shit. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, fuck, I used to get sick quite often. Why don't I get sick anymore? Which is so cool. And my diet hasn't really changed. The only thing that changes, I start doing a sauna. So I don't know. Could be that. I'm not too sure. But I don't know if you guys have done any like proper research into the whole sauna thing. I've done quite a lot, and it's crazy shit. The benefits of sauning.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of them. Because you're obviously gonna sweat out a lot of toxins. So
no, just heart health in general. That was the biggest like factor for me when I found out like how much of a benefit it is to your whole cardiovascular system and that type of shit. Because I've had issues with that before. So as much as I can do for that, I'll do it. So yeah. And ice baths? Do you do ice baths, Hugo?
No, like I've actually had a couple of people like ask me in the sauna about like the sauna and like ice bath and stuff, and I always tell them like if you're going for performance as well as trying to gain muscle and put on mass, I always tell them go for the sauna. Do not touch an ice bath afterwards unless you're doing like a marathon or like something where you literally break the fuck down the whole body. Then you get into the ice bath. But otherwise, sauna. Go there, go get the blood flowing, get the shit out of your pores. Don't touch an ice bath. Like ice bath is more for me like for your immune system, for like health benefits. That's more what I see it as.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the same guy that came out with the theory of rice, with the whole rest, incline, ice type of thing. I mean, he came out to say that, listen, don't do this after training. It's wrong. So after that, I was like, okay, well, I don't like getting into a cold piece of water anyway. So, I mean, unless somebody told me like, oh yeah, it like thins the skin or something like that, like maybe I'll push through. But otherwise, I like sitting in the heat. I prefer it.
Yeah, the thing is, well, like it kind of makes, even if you didn't really know much about the body, it kind of makes sense not to train. If you're going for like hypertrophy training or strength training, it doesn't make much sense to jump in an ice bath afterwards. But you know what I mean? It's very counterproductive. But like fucking ice bath in the morning, there's no better for me personally. Like if I do ice baths in the morning, 3 minutes to between 3 minutes and 6 minutes. Afterwards, I feel like I've had 14 coffees. I don't fucking eat coffee, really. I am on point. And also, it's one of those things, like waking up in the morning and doing something that you absolutely hate. The rest of the day has to be good. You know what I mean? Like, it's the worst fucking 5 minutes ever. So, I like to do that shit. But, I don't know. I don't have an ice bath anymore. I used to. I'll just fucking get back into it. Ahmed, do you do ice baths at all or not?
no, I haven't done ice baths in years, bro. Like the last time I did ice baths was playing hockey.
Yeah.
After games and stuff like that. But yeah, there are more benefits to fat burning actually when it comes to ice baths.
Yeah, that as well.
Recovery, and definitely recovery obviously reduces inflammation and all that jazz. I'm not gonna get into that now. My brain's just not there. Actually, let's say all of the STS stable guys will actually just debate with you right now about this whole ice bath thing. Because you can go look at, they actually, like the past 2 weeks, they've all been, it's like a task thing that they've set out amongst us to make a post about ice baths and cold therapy. So I'm not gonna go into that right now. My brain is still, my brain is really sleepy, so I'm not gonna go into that now.
But okay.
And debate with Hugo about everything he just said, because a lot of he just said is like, okay, is contradictory to all the information that I just read in the past 2 weeks.
You see, the thing is, so what are the guys from there saying? They're saying that it's actually beneficial to do ice baths after training.
Yeah.
Really?
Basically.
Fuck, that's so interesting because you see my information always all came from fuck, what's his name now? The thing is, I always take him at such a. I pretty much take what he says like as gospel. It's Huberman. What's his first name? You know, on YouTube.
Andre.
No,
Andre.
Huberman. Like he's like a fucking not a doctor, but a fuck, Dr. Huberman or whatever. That's where my information came from, and it always just kind of, when he said it, it just made logical sense to me why you wouldn't do that and why I preferred it for the morning, and also if I did it later in the day, I struggled to sleep and shit like that. That was my thing. So those guys are saying that completely contradictory to that. They say that even with hypertrophy training and strength training, ice bath after training is cool.
In terms for recovery, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, everybody's gonna have their own opinion, and there's a massive debate between warm recovery and cold recovery. But if you experience it yourself, warm recovery and cold recovery, and then you can talk. Look, for me, I never done or was very into saunas. During my peak week, I normally do ice baths because then my muscle is more tight and harder. You see, it's totally different. But before my show day, I do like my home bath, my Epsom salt bath, and stuff like that. So there's lots of debates. Everybody's bodies is totally different. If you want that inflammation, then you don't need to do a cold bath. If you want that inflammation gone, the muscle belly is more tighter and harder, and I'll say go for a cold bath, ice bath.
I'm actually very interested in this now.
I've experienced both already, and a cold ice bath actually do help a lot with endurance as well.
You see,
there's not a debate about what's better, hot or cold. I mean, they advocate both doing hot and cold therapy. So it's not really a debate or posting whatever.
Yeah, but
like it's not.
Yeah, but everybody's totally different.
And like these guys aren't talking on opinions. They're talking about studies they read and stuff like that. So so it's facts. It's not just stuff they're sucking out of the air.
No, for sure. The thing is, I fucking 100% trust what they're saying. I'm just surprised that that's what's coming out now. Also, you see, the thing is, what comes out last year and what comes out this year is fucking, some things are so different. It's like the BCAA debate. You remember, like, this was this, and then the EAAs and BCAAs, and then everyone fucking loved this, and that, you know, and everything changes all the time. Then you actually do the deep dive yourself and understand. But this, it's crazy because the research I've done is saying that doing the cold therapy after training for hypertrophy or strength is bad. Rather not, don't do it. Rather do it in the morning. And it's worked for me. I say that just because, but probably for other reasons, you know. So I'm actually very interested to do a little bit more of my own research to see actually what the new studies coming out are, because a lot of people are starting with cold and hot therapy. It's like I wouldn't say a fad, but like, you know, a lot of people do it now. So I'm interested to see, because even with clients, I would tell them don't do ice bath afterwards. So maybe I've been wrong this whole time. But yeah, anyways, let's see. Sorry, Hugo. I wanted to ask you now. How cool was it doing the fucking guest posing? I didn't see you for very long, but yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I loved every single second of it, except all those seconds that I was fucking cold. But other than that, it was amazing. Every single second was awesome. I loved it. The vibe was amazing. Music was perfect. Sound, lighting, No, geez, I literally don't have anything bad to say. It was phenomenal. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, you did well, bro. You did well. It was a sick guest posing, I have to say. It was very cool.
Thanks. I really tried to like put on a show for the people. Like, I mean, I'm literally there just to show my passion and stuff, and being able to do that and like at the same time watch all these athletes competing and stuff, like that got me going. Like seeing these talents doing their thing, these young guys and these up and coming guys, also getting a word in with a bunch of them. Like, dude, like honestly, the bodybuilding industry is so awesome. Like really, I truly find like a bunch of gems all over the freaking place. So it was awesome. Really, I loved every single second of it. And yeah, I just hope that the audience enjoyed it. That was the big thing for me.
Yeah, they did. I'm sure they did. I enjoyed it. It was very cool. It was very, very, very cool. Actually, Ahmed, bro, you're right. You seem very, very mook today.
Just going some messages. Yeah. I'm listening to Hugo's story. I'm not the one talking so much this time around, so it feels nice.
You gonna need some catch up to do.
I got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah,
It's been a
100%.
minute. It's been a minute.
What are you doing differently? What would you say you're doing differently this prep to all your previous preps, if anything?
Well, first and foremost would be taking, I'd say making sure that the certain boxes that I didn't tick, small little boxes from last year, I'm making sure that I'm taking it this year. And then secondly, the other thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to, or rather myself and Blaine, we're trying to just take it a little bit slower and try and keep things clean. That's why we started at 22 weeks out. Even though it was like a lean off season, a quick lean off season. The thing for me about it was, for me mentally, when I hear prep, immediately my head goes into prep mode. It's like, okay, you have to do X, Y, and Z, and if it's not done, get it done. Like before you rest your head in that pillow, it needs to be done. So we did that, and I just got straight into it, stuck to it, and yeah, so we're taking it our time, slowly chipping away at the fat bit by bit, because the big problem for me is just obviously there's weak points that need to be brought up, but other than that, it's size for me. Like I need a lot more size to be able to hang with the guys. So taking our time, and just slowly chipping away, but keeping the metabolism going, keeping it high, keeping the food high, making sure that I'm trying to like grow into the show as much as possible. That's the big thing for me. So training wise, not much different. I mean, every single time that I'm training, like I'm trying to learn something. So I'm always getting like different inputs from different people and different influencers and YouTubers and whatnot to change up my training and try and perfect it as much as possible. Yeah, not much else than that.
Are you still training for like 14 hours a day? Bro, I go train with you, bro. Have I trained with you once or twice? Twice. And I train when I train, it's normally like maximum an hour. Maximum. It's normally like 45 minutes to an hour. That's just the way I train. it's quite relatively short breaks and just fucking like obviously just smash that 45 minutes. Bro, like when you make a joke and it's like the fourth exercise and you're like, ha ha ha, warm up sorted, ha ha ha. It wasn't a joke. Hugo was like, bro, how many we did arms the first time at Virgin Active in Greenpoint, okay? We did arms. After 45 minutes, I was like, okay, fuck, we're probably done, bro. I think we trained arms for like 2 hours.
Yep.
I was like, fuck, bro, I want to go home. But it was sick. Look, it's sick because also it's one of those things where, confuse the muscle. I'm not used to training, especially with like arms and shit, bro. I'd never train arms for 2 hours. So to do that type of shit, sick. But yeah, you go fucking boy, he trains, let me tell you. Even that day we trained chest and shoulders. It's not so much with you, like the intensity is it's power. And you obviously train heavy and stuff, but bro, it's just fucking carry on and on. Every exercise, bro. I was like, fucking hell. Get the fuck out of here.
Funny enough, I'm trying to change that up now. Because I just feel like, especially now with prep like that, the second half of my training sessions it kind of gets like it really starts to feel like junk volume. Because I'm not getting the pump, I'm not getting the stretch, or rather, forget about the stretch. I'm not getting the pump. I'm not feeling as strong. I'm losing energy, losing focus. So I'm trying to just take that and like compress it a little bit. It's still quite long because my rests in between that I take is still I try to rest up enough so that I can go at the intensity that I do want. But I have tried to like decrease the amount of movements that I do because it just kind of comes to a point where it's like, are you just trying to like destroy the muscle, or you're actually trying to build the muscle? So I'm just trying to find that sweet spot where I'm like, okay, cool, I've done enough actually. You're done now. Like, and the problem for me is like, I just love being in the gym. Like, I can be there for as long as I freaking want. But now I'm like, okay, well, you can still be in the gym, but now you got time to go stretch. Now you got time to go do this and go do that. All the other things that you always say, oh, I don't have time for it now. Like, you made the time.
Yeah.
Go get your ass on the mat and go stretch. So, yeah, I'm just trying to do that just to like calm it down a little bit.
What do you guys think about? What is your guys' view on timing, like training times? Because Ahmed, I know I've trained with you, I've trained with Mickey, I've trained with you, and obviously I've trained with me, and everyone's very different. I've always been an advocate for not an advocate because everyone's different. Like some pros have, gone to the top by training for 45 minutes to an hour, and others fucking train like remember Kai Green 3-hour sessions, shit like that. So it's obviously different, but I mean, I don't know. Do you think it's person dependent? What do you think?
I think it's person dependent and goal dependent. That's what it comes down to. Because obviously, you must remember your body adapts over time to a certain amount of volume. Like you just mentioned now something about junk volume. I hear that a lot, or I've been hearing it a lot lately. But some people's body adapts to that amount of volume that they do over a period of time. So obviously, what's progressive overload is obviously increasing that. There's so many different ways to do that. But at the end of the day, volume, what is sets plus reps plus weight. So if you're going to reduce your volume, obviously something's going to change. Unless you're going to replace that volume with something else, with another form of stimulus. So, like I said, it's all goal dependent, person dependent. Nutrition will play an important role also. So it's like, are you what you're eating before training, what you're drinking in between your training sessions. So all those things, all those variables play a role.
Yeah, 100%. But do you think there's merit to what Hugo's saying by those junk, like? Do you think there's really a point of pushing past the pump? If that makes sense. Obviously, like after you get to that, whatever you're training, that like the fullest you can get with the most blood you can pump into the muscle. Is there a point of going further where now you're actually just starting to lose your pump and you're just absolutely trashing the muscle?
Yeah, there is 100%, but like I said, that word junk volume, I think it's just something that's not really, doesn't define that properly, because like you said, that like what you just said now, like that point might be different for everybody else.
No,
Like
for sure, yeah.
three sets of 4 exercises each might get me to that point, and like after that, or for example, if you're training chest, and maybe 3 exercises or 4 exercises, 3 sets each gets me to that point. Just for an example, gets me to that point where my chest is pumped to the max. I'm no longer getting more pumped. There's just like nothing left for
Yeah.
the muscle to do, and you're just fatiguing yourself. And that's also another point. That's why I said it's goal dependent. So if you're prepping for a show and stuff like that, obviously towards the end of the prep and stuff like that, you're obviously going to try and push that extra volume
Yeah.
to increase your output.
Yeah.
But more obviously, then you're pushing to fatigue and stuff like that. Where instead of like when you training for strength, training for growth, you're obviously going to stop at failure, not fatigue. You're not going to push yourself further than failure. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's what. Yeah, kind of my thinking. That's the thing is, I've always structured my training that way, where I train to the point where I'm, as pumped as I possibly can get, and then maybe a set or two after that. You know what I mean? Maybe an exercise after that. But nothing more than that. Like I would don't push to that level where my pump's gone now completely. I just never saw the benefit. The thing is, it wasn't even like a research thing that I did. Just like whatever they call it, just feeling training. Train how you feel. And that's how I've kind of done my training most of the times. Push until I'm fucking broken and get the biggest pumps. I've always been an advocate of pushing as much blood into the muscle as possible, and that's kind of the whole goal of it. But like you said, everyone's different. Everyone responds differently. Everyone's fucking very, very different. I mean, I'll never forget. I had a guy at school with me, had never trained in his life, and he started coming to the gym, the school gym, and he would literally be in the gym for 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and you do one exercise. He just didn't understand how like gym really works. So you'd like go in there, you do like bench press, let's say, for 15 minutes, and then you'd leave, and then the next day you'd do arms, and it would be 15. And the oak just fucking grew and grew and grew, and no one understood what the fuck was going on. And there we were in the gym for like hours, a day, fucking smashing it. It's just crazy how genetics plays such a big role in things.
You see, it's also like how you connect to the muscles. It's like you were saying there. It's quality as well. If you're performing
Yeah.
long sessions, each rep and each set the same amount of quality. Are you maintaining that same intensity, that same what's the word I'm looking for? See, my brain is sleepy here. If you like carrying all those variables from set to set to set and from rep to rep to rep, then by all means, obviously something's going to happen. But I said to reach that certain point, everyone is different. I don't like I said it might take you go 30 sets of whatever to get to that point, and it takes me 10 sets to get to that point. So
Yeah. 100%.
I have to say that like the one thing that from day one, and this is like why I'm kind of getting into this kind of idea of just trying to pull out this junk volume is a very famous and kind of like um what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of infamous kind of test that was done. And it's Mike Mentzer when he spoke about how much he grew within like a couple of weeks, like the amount of muscle that he put on. And he like, and when I'm talking about like the guy barely trained, like, I mean, he barely freaking trained like 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, I remember this.
And he would do
think I know what
just
you're talking
basically like what he needed. He would go hard and boop, out, gone. Like quick, hour or something, gone. And the guy just grew. And I mean, that's a little bit excessive. That's like pushing it a little bit. Like, I don't know how much of it is true, but kind of stemming from that is the fact of like just doing what's needed to be done. For example, you talking about this guy who comes in like 15 minutes, does one movement and then goes, but he was growing. It's kind of that idea of like, okay, well, you know, maybe this is what I need to do. Like, stop like trying to destroy the muscle to make it grow. Maybe tell it to just do what it needs to do, get it to its best, to where it feels its best, and then stop. Say, okay, cool, it's done. I've done everything that I need to do. Let's go on. In my head, it was always the idea of I want to get a pump. I want to get the best possible pump, and then I want to sustain it for as long as I possibly can until I feel like, okay, cool, the muscle is not, it's not wanting to work with me anymore. So that was what kind of the idea that I had was I wanted to just keep going and going and going and keep that blood in there for as long as I possibly can. And I mean, I tried this for pretty much a year, 2 years or so. It's kind of always been like my philosophy is just walk into the gym and just go crazy, go psycho, you know?
The thing is, if you can maintain that pump, like you said, if you can get it to that level and then maintain it for long, I think that's, you know, that would be optimal. Then you're holding that pump, but when, you know, like we said, like once it starts going down, that's when, like Ahmad was saying now, you know, that's when I'm like, okay, cool, I'm done. But with that Mark Mentzer thing, wasn't it something crazy? Like he was doing, like she was training like twice a week for like 40 minutes, some shit like that. I'm not 100% sure.
And he gained like 8 or 10 kgs of muscle and all that. Yep.
Maybe he was lying to us and he was just using like a liter of beer a week.
I think they called it, was it the Manhattan Project or something, where they did basically like the same thing with like this untrained guy and basically got like the same basic results with him.
Yeah, like we always say, sometimes less is more, eh?
Exactly.
Sometimes less is more, and that's a big thing. I think a lot of guys are starting to learn that, or just becoming more educated with that, especially with gear. You know, like I don't know if you guys remember, but there was also like a certain stage, maybe like 10 years ago, or maybe a little bit less, where especially younger guys, like between that 17, 18, maybe to like 20 mark, just coming out of school, rugby player vibe, they were abusing the shit out of gear, you know, like just because they didn't know what they were doing. But it seems like everyone's a lot more educated now because the information is so readily available. It's just like fucking Instagram, YouTube, wherever you want to find the real information, you got it, you know. We're back in the days, it was just the boys who were just like, fuck, you know, let's go to our friend's house, go to his garage and shoot up Trent. Fuck, it's dangerous, but yeah. Anyways. Yo, boys, look, Blaine fucked us around there because doing a podcast at 10 o'clock at night, it's not my big game. I look a little bit more here. But anyways, I actually just released that podcast with Chris as well. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, hold on. Let's close off with one other thing. Let's see, what was the other question I got here?
Listen, you know that Hugo and Blaine's gonna be going head to head in December.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, let's talk about that.
It's interesting.
It'll be
Coach
very
versus
fun.
client.
No, there's no animosity.
Okay.
in it. I gotta say, I wouldn't expect anything else except the absolute best from a boy. I would be pissed if he didn't bring his best. I want his best. And yeah, like if he kicks my ass, kick my ass. But I want it. I want him to bring it. I want everyone to bring it. We're just gonna have fun. We're gonna just get into it.
Okay, Hugo, but hold on. Who's gonna win?
Who's gonna win?
That's the judges have to make, but like,
Yeah,
That's up to
the
the
thing is,
judges.
if I'm a betting man, who am I putting my money on?
so like
Oh,
because
no.
Blaine
Why did everyone break?
controls this man's food and his water intake in peak. So what if this man is like, hey, this man's looking too good. I will sabotage this man.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Just play
true.
with your protocols, boy.
But then again, if I win, that's a notch on him as a coach. So would he rather take it as an athlete or as a coach?
Ooh, you are right. You are right that either way he wins, but there's this
will win both
ugly
ways.
thing called ego.
I don't
Say
know.
again, Mickey?
You will win both ways. Doesn't matter.
No, 100%. That's gonna be sicker. No matter what, it's gonna be very cool. And also, you guys have a very similar style, if that makes sense. Shorter, classic physique guys. Like,
No,
you guys are both
listen.
big into
I
posing.
have the world's respect for my boy. I have the world's respect for everybody else that's also competing. But I'm sorry, the Class A, the top two spots is going to be me and my boy. I'm sorry, everybody else is coming to compete with us. We're going to be in center stage, and we're going to be putting on a show for the judges.
Is it
So
going to go up against the anomaly? Eh? I'm just saying
who now?
the anomaly. Do you know who the anomaly is?
Who's that?
No, that man should have been pro long time ago. I think he's probably he hasn't done a regional, so I'm guessing he's doing the Cape Town regional and then doing the pro qualifier. Raven Kobe.
Bring it.
Oh shit!
Bring it.
I just saw today.
When was the last?
Man's changing, shifting gears. So
That is
class A and class B is the most exciting.
Raven is also in class A, yes. He's also in class A.
Yeah, short boys. As I say, class A and class B. Yeah, the competition that's in those classes. You boys are like it's so exciting to watch. It's like such a joy to the eye.
That's gonna be sick. So okay, so class A might be you, Hugo, Blaine, and Raven. That would be fucking crazy. That would be so sick.
So,
Hold on.
any other people besides the three of you guys doing the Cape Town regional so far, and just thinking about class A. But yeah, because most of the other guys that I know in class A and B has already qualified, and it'll obviously be senseless for them to do a regional and then another regional and then do the pro qualifier. So
maybe I can go on top of that wagon.
would you?
Yeah. Maybe I'll do classic class A and men's physique.
Okay. That'd be lekker. Return to Mickey.
Yeah.
I didn't hear who was that, Mickey?
Huh?
Who was that that you said might compete?
Him.
Me?
Him.
The big man.
I couldn't hear anything. Yeah. Look, boys, fuck. Then you're in big trouble. Trouble.
Hey, but listen.
But y'all, look, I gotta leave it to you boys. You know what I mean? Got to give you guys a chance. No, fuck. But you know what I've just realized? How tall? Actually, hold on. Let me ask. How tall is Blaine?
I believe it's like
Blaine is
168.
yeah, Blaine is our same height.
Really, have you guys not noticed this might be the shortest podcast on the planet?
Yeah.
Between us, we're about 6 foot.
Yes. See.
That is fucked. Actually, I just realized that.
The Black and White podcast changed to the shortest podcast on earth.
Bro, yeah, we got to change the name. Midgets Unite.
Plus
Fuck,
plus
that's fine.
A podcast.
Yeah, Class A podcast. Yeah, you're right. I think we got to change it, boys. Fuck, why did I not realize that before? That's mal. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's a, it's,
Just to close off, I think I have to bounce now.
I was
So
about to say that's a good way to close.
to close off, remember what we spoke about on Saturday?
On Saturday.
Told you I'm sitting in a situation.
Bro, I'm so confused now.
I told you.
Again.
I told you I was sitting in.
Oh, yes. Okay. No, but let's chat about that. I'm keen to hear about that.
Done, sealed, and delivered.
Is it?
Yeah,
Started
you can't beat me and you go and
Cliffhanger.
Look, it's not
Come on.
Group.
it's not ready for the public yet. So, and I don't really want to make a big war about it. So
Yeah. We tell them on the group though. It'll be sick. First of all, I'd like to say I think it's a good move. I think it's a very good idea.
freaking, but yeah, like it's funny. It's funny things. But I started everything already on Tuesday. Like changed everything up Tuesday. Yeah, things are looking up, bro. So we'll see. Like the way this week has gone so far, like okay. So I'm keen to see what's gonna happen over the next couple of weeks.
Me too. Me too.
You're doing a
Okay.
pro qualifier.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Of course. What do you think I did the regional for? Do you think I just did that for shit?
The one in September.
I'm doing the one in December.
Now what the fuck are you guys talking about?
The time will come. The time will come for because Blaine knows already. So I thought he was gonna hop on, but I didn't really want to discuss it like yet. Like I said, it's just keep it under wraps for now. But yeah.
Are you changing to the IBF for Africa? Oh God, that's because I see all the NPC guys is competing now in the IBF.
Stefan. Yes.
I saw yes. He actually looked good.
Yeah, and he's like how many weeks out? Yeah, he looks sick.
Yeah, and it was quite a nice lineup.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. But yeah, that was sick. Actually, fuck. I should have had him on today, but I'll have him on again. I was sick after your show. But yeah, let's chat on the group. But yeah, boys, let's close off. Let's sleep. Yeah, anyway.
Gotta go get those gains.
Yeah. Cheers, boys.
Cool. Safety, boys.
Take it, Buzz.
Take it easy.
Cheers. Bye-bye.